Gerardo here from Veloworld in Glen Park. Today we are going to do the very first video in collaboration with Green Guardians. We are going to talk just in basics bike setup, what to wear, what to carry with you on the road to be safe, and then we are going to move on into some cycle skills. Three of the most common bikes in the road today. Just your usual mountain bike, your hybrid bike, and your road, half off-road bike. Campus. This one in particular is what is called a grip shifters. Every bike in Britain you will control your rear gears with your right hand and your front gears with your left hand. Rear brake, front brake. What brakes do you use? Both brakes together. That's the best way to stop. Rear brake only will slow you down but will not stop you. Front brake only is a risk of going over the handlebars. Always both brakes together. This bike very similar to that one, but the gears are different kind of thumb shifters. You use your thumb or your index finger. This bike in particular, follow me. These brakes are much more powerful. These brakes work really well in the rain, muggy conditions. This bike here, as you can see, is called a drop bar. It's considered to be a fastest bike. In this one in particular you can do long distances. This type of bar facilitates to put your hands in different positions. This is a more resting position which is called the hoods. This is known as the drops and allows you to get down low against the wind. You can use your brakes from the hoods or from the drops. Again, this one in particular has hydraulic brakes. The gears in a road bike work in a different way. You will have gears in the levers. The very first thing we want to make sure is the bike is safe when we go for a ride. What we do is a type of check called the M check. Why the M check? Because use our imagination and the frame of the bike reminds us of the letter M. The M check is a complete 15 to 20 points checking. We are going to go quick. I like starting from the front. So very first thing, tires. What do I check? I check tire pressure just by hand. Yep, they're nice and tight and that's the way they should be, so we avoid punctures. So check the front wheel, check the tire, look at the tire in case there is any debris, thorns, bits of glass. Look at the tire, is it turning freely? Yes it is. Hold on to the wheel and try to shake it side to side. Is it loose? If it's loose, just check that your quick release or whatever way the wheel is attached to the frame is tight enough. This is tight, all good. So I go up and I have the control here. Very first thing I check is brakes. Front brake with your right hand, pull the brake, try to lift the bike off the ground. That's showing the brake is working well. Pull the rear brake since you're here. The bike is skidding, that's very good. That means the rear brake is working. It's no a good opportunity to check your gears because you're in the ground, the gears work when you're riding. So, we are in the handlebars, the grips are fine, everything is fine. Is the handlebar tight enough? To the front wheel, try to swing it side to side, it's not moving, that's good enough for me. So now, we go down the letter M. What do we find? The pedals. Look at the pedals. Try to unscrew the pedals. No, they're nice and firm. Grab this bit of the pedal and try to swing it side to see if it's any play. No, it's no play. Everything looks okay. Now we go up to the saddle. Try to move the saddle. No, it's firm. That's good. Bring it down to the rear wheel. Do the same thing. Try to shake it side to side. Turn it around. Make sure it's turning. Make sure it's well attached with a quick release system or whatever system you have in your bike. Some bikes have quick release. Some bikes have bolt-on wheels. And some bikes have something called the true axle. This is a quick M check and you are sure that your bike is safe to ride. Hi Luisa.
Hi.
Luisa is going to show us what she wears on a bike ride.
A helmet, a high-vis vest, or I make sure to wear something bright and visible. And shoes that stay on your feet, so no flip-flops, sensible shoes. So I'm going to show you how to wear a helmet properly. Obviously, put it on your head. You don't want to wear it too far forward, and you don't want to wear it too far back. You want it to sit just like that. Chin strap, buckle. You don't want it to be too loose, you don't want it to be too tight. As long as you can open your mouth like that and it doesn't choke you. So I think that one's fine. And this also, you can tighten at the back so that it stays in place.
So your head is not coming off.
Yep.
What do you carry with you on the road, Luisa?
So when I go for a cycle, I always carry a few things. I carry some tire levers in case I need to remove the tire, a spare inner tube in case I get a puncture repair kit, again in case I get a puncture, and a multi-tool to make any adjustments while I'm on the road. And I also carry a pump.
So first, you sit on the bike with your feet flat in the ground, so make sure the height of the seat allows you to do so. And now Luisa, you're gonna look straight ahead. Don't start looking at the front wheel. That's a common thing that people does. The wheel will always be there. So you look ahead, look at where you're going, and start just walking with the bike. Good. This time before you go, hold on to the handlebars and put 2 fingers on the brakes. That's it. Does that feel comfortable? So, very first thing to do is like pull both brakes. Shugu. You're not going anywhere, are you? That's it. Feel quite safe?
Feel very safe, yeah.
Okay. Look ahead. Release the brakes and start walking this way. Once you're familiar with the walking, you're going to do what we call a Kangaroo Step, which is 2 legs at the same time.
Okay.
And you start sliding forward by lifting 2 feet at the same time.
Like that?
Speed, yes, speed is your friend in here. If you go faster, it helps you balancing. So try to go fast with a kick and lift up, kick and lift up, kick. That's it. Okay, short kicks coming this way. Starting position, look ahead and stop when you reach me. Good. You see the way you stop? That's a perfect way to stop. You should have your pedals in the starting position. If you stopped in a different position, you can just place your pedal in the position. Put your brakes. Look ahead, scan the situation around you. When you're ready to start, let's go again. Okay, the very last thing we do today, once you're confident cycling, that's you, starting position, ready to go, hands on the brakes, looking ahead. I'm going to say, look. And every time I say look, You will turn your head round and tell me how many fingers you can see on my hand.
Okay.
So ready to go? Go. Look. This time you are going to turn your head to the right, making sure you're still going on a straight line. And tell me how many fingers I have. Go. Look.
4. Gears on a bike can seem really complicated. In a car, you've probably only got 6 to think about, or you might drive it automatic, in which case you don't need to worry at all. But on a bike, you might have 18, 20, 22, or maybe even 33 gears. So what are you meant to do with them all? Well, the good news is, firstly, that you can forget about the number of gears that you have. It's not actually important. What is crucial though, is the range of gears that you've got, and being able to swap from your easiest gear right through to your hardest gear. Your left hand controls big jumps in gears by moving the chain from the little cog to the big cog at the front, which are also called your chain rings. Whereas your right hand moves the chain across the smaller cogs at the back, and that makes finer adjustments. You'll probably find that when you're riding fast, that you'll be in your big chain ring at the front, and when you're riding on the flat and climbing, you'll be in your little chain ring. You'll probably find that your left hand generally doesn't do all that much, but your right hand will be much busier. On this bike I'm riding, I can control the gears by using 2 fingers, my index finger and my thumb. How do you know then when you're in the right gear? Well, it's actually very straightforward. You'll be putting in the effort that you want to put in, so not going too hard in order to keep your pedals turning, but then not pedaling really fast and not going anywhere either. It's also important to use the gears when you come to a stop. If you're cycling on a flat surface and you come to a junction or traffic lights, you should make sure you're in a gear which is easy for you to start back up again. So right now I'm cycling in a hard gear and I'm approaching traffic lights. I'm going to use my left hand to change the big chain ring to the smaller one by pulling the shifter at my index finger. Then I'm going to come to a stop using my brakes. When I start cycling again, it feels a lot easier and I can change back into a harder gear when I'm going at the speed I want to be travelling in by using the shifter at my thumb. I'm now approaching a slight hill. As I hit the slight incline, I change into an easier gear using my right hand. You want to make sure that if possible, you change the gear before you really need to, so in advance of perhaps a hill that's coming up. Because if you do leave it a bit late, gears generally don't like changing under pressure. So if you have to change from your big chain ring to your little chain ring when you're on a climb, you may find it's actually quite hard to do. So now I'm about to go downhill. I change into a harder gear so that I'm not spinning my feet in the pedals too fast. The best way to improve your gear skills is just to practice. Start by getting familiar with the back gears at your right hand, play about with them and notice the difference they make when you cycle. Once you feel confident with your right hand, do the same and practice with the gears at your left hand. And that's really all there is to it.
How do you feel?
I feel good.
We're ready for cycling?
Yes.
So that's all for today. Next time we are going to go in the park and do some real cycle skills.
Okay.